Well, good morning. This is Kemp Blaylock with SDG Replays coming to you live this morning with some more payoff pitch baseball. We're going to be continuing in the season, the 1979 season, featuring the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're going to hopefully play out this game between the Pirates and the New York Mets. This will be the first meeting of these two National League East teams, with the Mets, as you can see on our standings here, are 2.5 games back of the Pirates. The Pirates have started out red hot at 21-8, and the Mets not far behind, 2.5 games back at 19-11. The Pirates have started out with some great pitching, with some run support. I wouldn't say it's great, but the pitching has been lights out so far. So we're going to get into today's game. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Pitching today for the Mets will be Craig Swan, and for the home team Pittsburgh Pirates, it's going to be Don Robinson. Swan on the season in '79 was 14-13 with a 3.29 ERA. With 145 strikeouts. Seems like he didn't get the run support he needed because his whip was only a 1.39. Excuse me, that's Robinson's whip. I think his was 1.19. Yeah, Swan's is 1.19 with a 3.29 ERA. Robinson, on the other hand, was 8-8 with a 3.87 ERA with a 1.39 whip. So it should be an interesting matchup of two National League East leading teams, the top three in the league, with only a 2.5 game difference between the two. Excuse me. So let's get into the game. And here is the music. Can't help but get excited to get ready to play with that.
Radio is live from Pittsburgh. Top of the first.
Give me 1 second. See what the chat's looking like. If I got anybody here. Nope. That's all right. We are going to be playing using the fast action cards, but also we're going to be using the ball roller, the dice roller, and that's going to allow for you to be able to see the dice rolls a little more clearly, as I want everything to be seen well. And let's get into this game. Don Robinson will be on the mound for the Pirates as Frank Tavares steps to the plate, playing for the Mets. I believe later in the season he will find himself with the Pirates. But Frank Tavares on this replay is batting .255 with 11 RBIs. During the regular season, he batted .262 with a home run in 1979. So he's about on pace for what he normally does. Make sure you see That's what we want to be seeing. This will be our end game scene. You see the dice roll there to your right, and we'll get into this game now. Robinson toes the rubber as Frank Tavares digs in. It's going to be an in play, 0-8 to Tavares. And Tavares comes out against a right-hander, and he hits one hard, and he hits one deep. And he's going to be rounding the bases. He's got himself a lead-off triple as Tavares bangs it off the left field wall, the right field wall, and finds himself standing on third base with a lead-off triple for the New York Mets. That'll bring Richie Hebner to the plate. Hebner on the season batted .268 with 10 home runs. During this replay, he's batting .291 with 18 RBIs and 4 home runs. Got a runner standing on third. Hebner will not be bunting. I think he swings the bat too well to be bunting. Here's the pitch. It's a patient 81. That's a ground ball to second. Let me get my charts. Forgot to say it, but I was playing the in. I'm not going to play the infield in this early in the game. So that will score Tavares for the 4-3 putout. And we have our first score of the game as Hebner drove in Tavares. So quickly up 1-0 is the New York Mets as Lee Mazzilli steps to the plate. Mazzilli on the season batted .303 with 15 home runs. During this replay, Mazzilli is batting .286 with 22 RBIs and 5 home runs. Here's the pitch from Robinson. It's a tough 58. It'll be a fly ball to left field. John Milner's settling under it for out number 2 as he squeezes it. The short fly ball for out number 2. That'll bring Willie Montanez to the plate. Montanez on the season batted .256 with 13 home runs. During our replay, Montanez is batting .193 with 7 RBIs. Coming out of the gate a little slow. Here's the pitch to Montanez. That's a tough 14 to Montanez, and he strikes him out. But not. We go to the bottom of the first, but one run did come across for the Mets on that sacrifice hit. Coming to the plate, going to the mound, Omar Marino steps into the batter's box as Craig Swan toes the rubber. Trying to make sure I got them where you can see them. Here's a pitch from Swan to Marino. Marino batted .282 with 8 home runs in 1979. During our replay, he's batting .289 with 15 RBIs and 2 home runs, right on pace with his regular season. Here's the pitch from Swan. It's a tough 41. And that will be a single by Marino. Marino has a long single into the gap in center field, and he finds himself safely on first with a leadoff single. Marino does still well. He's a B, and my catcher is a 3. It's a very good chance. So Marino will be attempting the steal. He's off on the base pass, and he is safe. Marino steals second as Stearns has an average arm, and Marino has very good speed. So he finds himself on second with a leadoff single and a stolen base. That brings Tim Foley to the mound. To the batter's box as Craig Swan toes the rubber. Here's a pitch from Swan. It's a defensive check. It's a 97, but I know that's going to automatically be an out because of the range for the error check is only up to 61. That is a defensive check on the first baseman. The roll of 3 will signal no, he's on second. Can't get him there. I was thinking it was a double play, but my runner's on second, not first. Remember, he stole the base. That stolen base allows Marino to safely get to third as the ball is hit to Montanez. And the good speed by Marino. So we have 1 out, runner on third, and Dave Parker stepping to the plate. Parker in 79 batted .310 with 25 home runs. During our replay, he's batting .361 with 30 RBIs and 7 home runs. He's on pace for an excellent season. Parker steps into the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Swan. It's a tough 10, and he strikes him out. Parker goes down swinging for out number 2. And that'll bring Willie Pop Stargell to the plate. Stargell was a 39-year-old, primarily pinch hitting, but playing occasionally at first, stepping up into the batter's box against righties. He batted .293 with 23 home runs in 1979. Here's the pitch to Stargell. It's an in-play 99. He hits it deep into right field. Joel Youngblood going back to the warning track, but not deep enough as he squeezes it for out number 3. And we go to the second with the Mets leading 1-0. Don Robinson back on the mound as Steve Henderson steps to the plate. Henderson on the season against right-handed pitching batted .260 with 3 home runs. Here's the pitch to Henderson. That's an in-play 83. That's a fly ball to center field. Marino ranging underneath it for out number 1 on the F8 put out. Now we're bringing John Stearns to the plate. The catcher batted .241 against righties with 5 home runs in 1979. Stearns steps into the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Robinson. That's a tough 83, and that will be a ground ball to short. Foley up with it, over to first for the 6-3 put out, and out number 2. That'll bring Joel Youngblood to the plate. Youngblood on the season in 1979 against right-handed pitching batted .273 with 9 home runs. Here's the pitch from Robinson. That's a tough 35 against Youngblood, and he strikes him out for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. As we go to the bottom of the second. Score still 1-0. Mets lead. John Milner will be stepping into the batter's box for the Pirates. Milner against right-handed pitching batted .291 with 12 home runs in 1979. Here's the pitch from Swan. That's a ballpark, and that will be a wheelhouse to Milner. Milner's wheelhouse for a home run is 1-38. And it is a 38 exactly. Milner takes the pitch, hits it hard, hits it deep, and it is gone for a home run. Here in the bottom of the second, Milner takes Swan deep. That will bring Ed Ott to the plate. Ott on the season in 1979 batted .276 with 4 home runs against right-handed pitching. Here's the pitch from Swan, who's shaking his head after giving up the deep ball. Here's the pitch. That's an in-play 52 to Ed Ott. It'll be a ground ball to third. Richie Hebner up with it, over to first for out number 1. Now we'll bring Phil Garner up to the plate. Garner in 79 batted .305 with 6 home runs against right-handed pitching. In our replay, Garner started out pretty hot at .331 with 14 RBIs and 3 home runs already in the season. He hit 11 total in 79. Here's the pitch from Swan as Garner digs in. That's a tough 43 to Phil Garner, and he strikes him out. He's a 1-43 on the strikeouts. He got him with the breaking ball. Curveball caught the corners. As Garner goes down, that'll bring Rennie Stennett up to the plate. Rennie Stennett, .234 against right-handed pitching in 1979. Here's the pitch from Swan. Stennett digs in. That's going to be a defensive check. This time, it's just outside of any chance, 1-68 or 1-61, and their hits or errors, but this will be an out as it's hit to the second baseman. Flynn makes a great diving grab and kicks it over to Montanez for the 4-3 put out to end our inning, but not after we tie it up on the home run to tie this game up 1-1 as John Milner took him deep. So the top of the third, we're tied up 1-1. Robinson still pitching well as Doug Flynn steps to the plate. Flynn on the season in 1979 batted .236 with a .299 slugging percentage, so didn't hit the ball extremely well. Here is the pitch to Flynn. That's a patient 70 as he hits a fly ball into center field. Short fly ball as Marino settles underneath it for out number 1. That'll bring up Craig Swan to the plate, batting off the number 3 hitter card. He batted .123 during the season, so he swings the bat a little bit. Here's the pitch from Robinson. That's a patient 48. It'll be a fly ball into right field. Short fly ball. Parker gets underneath it for out number 2. That'll bring Frank Tavares back to the plate. Tavares, his first time up, hit a triple, a leadoff triple, and he does come across the plate on the sacrifice hit. So he accounts for the run for the Mets. Can he repeat his leadoff performance? Here's the pitch from Robinson. It's in play, 99. It's a fly ball to left field. John Milner takes a few steps over, settles underneath it for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd, tied up 1-1 between these two National League East leading teams. And stepping to the plate for the Pirates will be the pitcher, Don Robinson. Robinson hitting off the number 9 batter hitting card, a little bit of better bat than Swan as he batted .204 in 1979. Here's the pitch from Swan to Robinson. That's a tough 30, and we know what a tough 30 on a pitcher hitting card is. That's a strikeout as he strikes out his counterpart. Robinson goes down swinging. That'll bring Omar Marino back up to the plate. Marino, his first time up, had a leadoff single and a stolen base, but he was left stranded. As he steps to the plate this time, here's the pitch from Swan. That's a tough 41 to Marino. And that will be another leadoff single. Ignore that. That will be another single by Marino. And again, Marino with a very good chance of stealing the base. He is off on the base pass again. He is safe for another stolen base. Stern's arm is just not good enough to get the speedy Marino as he steals his second base of the game. Marino's standing on second. I think I'm going to have to start using the hold. I think it's too easy for your very good runners to get stolen bases on average arms. Maybe next game. Continue to play it this way this game. Craig Swan toes the rubber. Foley steps up. Here's the pitch to Foley. That's going to be an in play, 33 to Foley. And that's just outside of his hit range as he grounds it to third. And up with it is Hebner over to second, over to first for the 5-4-3 double play to end our inning. And we go to the bottom. Oh, Marino is on second again. Can't do that. I forget he stole the base. No, it's just that will hold Marino on as it was grounded to third. Hebner glances over to second, holding Marino. then over to first for the out. For out number 2, as Foley is sat down. That brings Dave Parker back up. Parker, his first time up, drew a walk. See what he can do this time with 2 outs. And Marino's standing on second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a wheelhouse 42 to Dave Parker. And it's going to be a single by Parker. It's a line drive into left field. And that will score Marino from second, as the speedy Marino is safely home. And we now have a 2-1 Pirates lead here in the bottom of the third, as Willie Stargell steps to the plate. Parker safely on first. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a defensive check. It's going to be an error check on the third baseman. Richie Hebner is a 2 in the error. 1-51, it is an error. It's a roll of 33, so it is an error on the third baseman as he boots it. And it is a 2-base error that's going to allow, it's a 3-star, so it's going to score Parker. I'm going to have to do this in detail. It's error on the third baseman. All right. So that was a 2-base error by Hebner, who threw wildly to first, scoring Parker all the way from first, and Stargell is safely on second. Costly error by Richie Hebner, as the Pirates now go up 3-1 as John Milner steps to the plate. Milner homered his last time up. Can he repeat that performance? Here is the pitch. It's an in play, 28. And he will ground it back to the Swan. Hit sharply back to Swan, but Swan is up with it over to first for the 3-1 put out. And we go to the top of the fourth now with Pittsburgh up 3-1. Costly error by Richie Hebner that increased that lead as we go to the top of the fourth with the Pirates leading 3-1. Richie Hebner, shaking his head in disgust over that error, steps up to the batter's box. Hebner, his first time up, grounded to second. Don Robinson, feeling a little confident after getting a little run support, brings the pitch to Hebner. That's an in play, 44. That's a pop-up to short. Foley underneath it for the easy pop fly for out number 1 as Hebner goes back to the dugout, still kicking himself for that error. Lee Mazzilli steps to the plate. Mazzilli flew out to left field his first time up as Robinson toes the rubber. Here's the pitch to Mazzilli. It's a tough 46. It's a ground ball to the first baseman, Stargell. Stargell grabs it, stabs it, tosses it to Robinson, who's covering the bag for the 3-1 put out for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down as Willie Montanez steps to the plate. Don Robinson toeing the rubber. Here's the pitch to Montanez. Willie digging in. Delivers the pitch. It's a patient 14 to Montanez, and he gets the free pass as he's on safely with the base on balls down to first. Montanez is not a threat to steal as he's an F stiller. That's not going to threaten anybody as Henderson steps in. Henderson digging in, swinging from the right side of the plate as a right-handed hitter. Swinging, I guess, from the left side of the plate as a right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch from Robinson. That's an in play, 31. And Henderson does get bat on ball as he snaps a liner that drops in front of the left fielder. And that will move Montanez over to second as we have 2 on with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. And that will bring John Stearns back up to the plate. Stearns, his last time up. Grounded out to short. He does not want to repeat that here, but here's the pitch from Robinson. That's a patient 83, and he does indeed ground it to Foley at short, who goes to short route, flips it over to Stennett at second for the 6-4 put out, and that will end our inning with two stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th with the Mets trailing 3-1. As Ed Ott comes to the plate for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Swan is good until the 8th inning, but he will be fatigued in the 8th as he's allowed 3 runs. Here's the pitch to Ott. That's a patient 52. That will be a ground ball to third. Richie Hebner up with it. Over to first for out number 1 with the 5-3 put out. Phil Garner now stepping to the plate. Here's the pitch to Garner. Craig Swan delivering. It's an in play, 42. That's a ground ball to first. Montanez up with it. Steps on the bag for the 3, unassisted. For out number 2, 2 up, 2 down, as Rennie Stennett steps to the plate. Stennett, his last plate appearance, grounded to second. Stennett steps in. Here's the pitch from Swan. It's an in play, 30 to Rennie Stennett. That's a pop up to second. Flynn settling underneath it for the easy put out. For out number 3, the P4 put out. And we go to the top of the 5th, excuse me. With the score still 3-1. Pittsburgh. Don Robinson still pitching well, allowing only 1 run so far here in this game. As Joel Youngblood steps up. Youngblood takes a few practice swings, steps in to the batter's box. Here's the pitch. It's an in play, 37. That will be a pop-up to third. Garner settling under it as it's popped up high. Played easily by Garner for out number 1. Now Doug Flynn stepping in. Flynn, his first time up, flew out to center field. Robinson toeing the rubber, brings the pitch. It's an in play, 97. It's lifted into left field. It's deep, but not deep enough as Milner runs a few short steps back, settles underneath it. For out number 2, 2 up, 2 down. as Craig Swan steps to the plate. Here's the pitch to Swan. That's a tough, and he's a 1-99 on the tough section, so he has struck him out as Swan takes a desperate hack at it to no avail as he struck him out, and he's back to the dugout. That was 3 up, 3 down, a good inning for Don Robinson. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Robinson steps up to the batter's box. Swan toes the rubber. Here's the pitch to Robinson. Tough. And he'll pay the favor back. He strikes out Robinson. Robinson taking a big hack at it as well, but to no avail. He sits him down, and Marino, the dangerous Marino, you don't want him on the base paths. So here's the pitch from Swan. Marino digs in, who singled and stole a base his last time up. And that's going to be a wheelhouse 74 for Marino. He is offered up a good ball to hit, but he a little too anxious. He tops the ball, sends it to short. Tavarius up with it over to first for the 6-3 put out. 2 up, 2 down as Tim Foley steps to the plate. Swan toes the rubber. Foley digging into the batter's box. Here's the windup in the pitch. It's a patient 0-9, and that will be a walk to Foley. Foley will get the free pass as he trots down to first. We have a runner on with 2 outs, and Dave Parker, the dangerous Dave Parker, stepping to the plate. Here's the pitch to Parker. It's an in-play 60, as it's a little too much for Parker to do anything with. As he lifts it into left field, Henderson settles underneath it, squeezes the ball tightly for out number 3. And we go to the 6th with our score still 3-1, Pittsburgh. Don Robinson back on the mound as we go out to the 6th with Frank Tavarius stepping to the plate. Here's the pitch to Tavarius. That's a tough 85. He grounds it to short. Foley up with it. Quickly over to first to Pop Stargell for the 6-3 put out. And out number 1. That brings up third baseman Richie Hebner to the plate. Hebner stepping in as Robinson goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. It's going to be an in-play 86. It's going to be a ground ball to second. Rennie sent it up with it, quickly over to first for out number 2 with a 4-3 put out. 2 up, 2 down as Lee Mazzilli steps into the batter's box. Mazzilli on the day is 0 for 2. Flew out to left and grounded out to first, both his appearances today. As here's the pitch from Robinson. This time it's a wheelhouse 0-3 to Lee Mazzilli. Mazzilli has taken that offering and he has deposited in the cheap seats as Mazzilli has hit one hard, long and deep. And this one is out of here, and our score now is 3-2 as Mazzilli has homered off Don Robinson. That will bring Willie Montanez to the plate with our score now 3-2. Things are getting tight. Robinson shaking his head in disgust after allowing that home run. Here's the pitch to Montanez. It's an in play, 41. As he grounds it to Stargell at first. Stargell scoops it up, played easily, steps on the bag for out number 3. But not after this game got tightened up with a nice home run by Lee Mazzilli as he drove it in to the seats. Our score now is 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And Willie pops Stargell's stepping into the batter's box as Craig Swan is toeing the rubber. This will be Swan's possibly last inning. Well, we can get one more out of him, but we'll see. Swan with the pitch. Pops digging in, and that's a patient. Uh-oh. We have a rare event. Roll, the first time in this game. That's a roll of 11 in a rare event. He walked Willie Stargell, and Swan argued the call and was ejected for arguing. So Swan has been ejected from the game for walking Willie Stargell. And we were wondering if we were going to have to replace him. It looks like we will, as Stargell. Let's bring in a lefty if possible. I don't know. Probably just need to bring in the best pitcher. We still got a lot ahead of us. A lot of game left. This is always a tough thing. Who do you put in? Who do you put in? I'll put in Skip Lockwood. He can pitch long. Got a good ERA, but not much run support, evidently. As Lockwood comes in, here in the bottom of the 6th, to replace the ejected Craig Swan. Can't argue. Balls and strikes, I guess, with this ump. As John Milner steps in, Stargell on first, no threat to steal. As Skip Lockwood steps to the mound after a few warm-up pitches, he brings the heat. It's going to be a tough 67. That's grounded to short. That will not be a double, but they will get Stargell at second for the force out. For the 6-4 force out. Now we'll bring Ed Ott back to the plate with Milner on first. In infield double play depth as Lockwood brings the heat. That's a tough 45, and he strikes Ed Ott out. For out number 2. Lockwood's got a pretty good looking card there. He's got tough from 6 through 9. That's 4 places. He does have the ballpark and wheelhouse at 10 and 11. That's a little alarming, but Phil Garner now steps in. Garner with Milner on first. Here's the pitch to Garner. And it's another tough 48. But this time, the hot-hitting Garner takes that tough pitch and he hits a soft blooper into short left field for a 2-out single, and we got 2 runners on. With Rennie Stennett stepping to the plate. Can Stennett drive in some runs here as Skip Lockwood looks to bear down. Here's the pitch from Lockwood. It's a patient 53 to Rennie Stennett. And that's a fly ball into right field. Joel Youngblood underneath it for out number 3. And we go to the 7th with our score 3-2 Pittsburgh. That'll bring Don Robinson back out on the mound as Steve Henderson steps to the batter's box. Henderson steps in. Robinson with the pitch. That's a tough 42. And he strikes him out as Henderson goes down swinging. Great pitch by Robinson. Robinson still pitching well here into the 7th. This would regularly be his fatigue inning. Because he's only allowed 2 runs, he can continue on. Mazzilli steps to the bag, to the plate. Here is the pitch. That's a tough 74. And that's a ground ball to short. Tim Foley up with it. Over to first for the 6-3 put out. 2 up, 2 down. As Willie Montanez steps to the plate. Montanez digging in as Robinson brings the delivery. Ballpark, but he could not do anything with it. He was offered up a gopher ball, and he hits it long. He hits it deep. Parker going back to the warning track, to the wall, leaps, and out number 3. He makes the catch. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Robinson due up to hit. I believe we're going to pinch hit for Robinson. That's going to be it for him pitching today. And who to bring in? Probably going to be Alexander. And it will be. As Alexander comes in for Robinson, whose day is finished after a good pitching day. So Matt Alexander steps up to the mound. Skip Lockwood toes the rubber. Here's the pitch to Alexander. It's an in play, 89. It's a fly ball to right field. Joel Youngblood underneath it for out number 1. That'll bring Omar Marino back to the plate. Marino's had a good day. A couple stolen bases, a couple hits. As Lockwood looks to keep Marino off the base path. That's a patient 91. And that's a ground ball to second. Flynn up with it over to first for the 4-3 put out. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. As Tim Foley steps back to the plate. What can Foley do? Here's the pitch to Foley. And that's a tough 71. It's a fly ball to center field. Lee Mazzilli takes a few steps in, squeezes the ball hard for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down as we go to the 8th. Our score is still 3-2, Pittsburgh. And I need a new pitcher for looks like I got a bunch of righties coming up. So I need to bring in a right-hander. I think I'll bring in Romo. I'm not too confident in Colby for some reason. Every time I pitch him, he's won some. He's had some saves, but it's always been risky, it seems. So Enrique Romo will come in. He does have 2 wheelhouses and a ballpark, but the wheelhouses are at 2 and 12, so they will be difficult to hit. The only thing about the ballpark with Three Rivers Stadium, left-handed batters it's 1-87 wheelhouse, and right-handed it's 1-83, so it's a very good chance it will be a wheelhouse, and he has that ballpark at 4. So that's the chances you take as Doug Flynn steps in. Flynn stepping to the plate as Romo has finished up his warm-up tosses. Here's the pitch. That's a patient 33 from the right-hander to Flynn. That'll be a ground ball right back to Romo. That's a comebacker that Romo stabs at, makes the great play over to first for the 1-3 put out. Great play by Romo, doing himself a favor. And that will bring up Skip Longwood. And I think we'll be pitch hitting for Longwood. Longwood will be done for the day. Nope, wrong thing. Lockwood, excuse me, not Longwood. So Lockwood is done for the day. Against the right-hander, Ed Cranepool. It's probably going to be my man of choice. Yep, Cranepool coming in for the pitcher. Here's the pitch to Cranepool as Romo looks to sit him down. That's a tough 71, and he grounds it to short. Foley up with it over to first for the 6-3 put out. 2 up, 2 down as Cranepool could not get it done. That'll bring Tavares back up to the plate to lead. See if he can get things going here in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch to Tavares from Romo. That's a tough 25. And he strikes him out. Sat him down for our 3rd out. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Pittsburgh up 3-2 in this tightly contested game from the leaders in the National League East. Pirates leading by 2.5 games to the 3rd place New York Mets, who are just 2.5 games back. Got to bring in a pitcher for the Mets as I pinch hitted for Lockwood. We'll bring in Neil Allen to pitch now. Another good relief pitcher with a pretty good card. As he will have to face the big hitting Dave Parker. That's not the one you want to face stepping out of the bullpen, but here's the pitch. That's a patient 65. Ooh, boy, that's just outside Parker's hit by pitch. So he grounds it to short. Tavares up with it. Over to first for the 6-3 put out. And out number one. That'll bring Willie Stargell, Pop Stargell, to the plate. Stargell is hitless on the day. He did walk his last time up and reached on an error by the third baseman, and then he flew out to right field. So he's been on base twice, but is hitless. As Stargell steps in, here's the pitch. It's a defensive check. This could be trouble. It's a defensive check on the shortstop. Tavares is a 3. So 1-36. It is an error. The roll is a 52. He makes the play, makes a great play at short. Leaping, diving catch. Up with it, throws from his knees, and gets the slow-moving Stargell by a step for the 6-3 put out. And out number two. And that'll bring John Milner to the plate. Milner's homered in this game. Can he do it again as Neil Allen toes the rubber? Milner digging in. Here's the pitch. That's a patient 45 to Milner. And he will walk him as Milner gets the free pass. And Allen puts a runner on for Ed Ott as Ott steps in here in the bottom of the 8th. Ed Ott looking for a good pitch to hit as Allen bears down to the belt. Here's the pitch. That's a tough 17, and he strikes him out. Ed Ott goes down swinging, and we go to the 9th with our score 3-2. Can the Mets get a runner across to tie this game or take the lead here in the top of the 9th? Can Romo close it out as Richie Hebner steps into the batter's box? Will not be pinch hitting for Hebner, who's batted .291 against right-handed pitching. Here's the pitch to Hebner. That's a tough 25 to Richie Hebner, and he strikes him out. He goes down swinging as Romo throws the high heat by Richie Hebner. For out number one. 1 up, 1 down as Lee Mazzilli steps to the plate. Mazzilli homered his last time up. Romo being cautious with Mazzilli. That's another tough. It's a tough 79. This time it's a fly ball to center field. Not hit very deeply as Marino takes a couple steps over, settles underneath it for out number 2. And we're down to our last out, and Willie Montanez steps to the plate. Montanez against right-handed pitching hit .229. We're going to be trying to see if we can get a better hitter in here for Montanez. It's .229. .229 is not scaring anyone. But there just might not be any better choice. This goes to show you there. We'll bring in Elliot Maddox. Maddox batted .290 against the right-handed pitcher. So see what he can do, if anything. Maddox comes in. Can he get a rally going as Romo kind of grins at Maddox, says, "I'm not afraid," as he brings the pitch. It's a tough 0-6, and we know what that means. Maddox comes in. He takes a horrible hack at a bad pitch, and that is out number 3 with a strikeout. And that is our game, folks. It's a 3-2 win by the Pittsburgh Pirates as Don Robinson gets the win, and he gets the player of the game, the MVP. Craig Swan will be saddled with the loss. Let's go take a quick look at the box score. As you can see, not a lot of hitting going on. 8 total hits in the game. That error by Hebner was very costly. That's probably the game there, that error, allowing that run to come across, that deciding run. Hebner had 2 errors on the day. Does not endear himself to his coach. But good pitching by Robinson. He's now 5-2 on the season. That lowered his ERA to 2.76. Romo come in and got another save. Not an overly exciting game. Swan pitched well, just did not get it done, as the error really done him in, because he only allowed 2 earned runs across. But that error by Hebner was our game. So we'll exit out of here. Autoplay the rest of the week, the rest of the day, excuse me. And then we'll take a look at the replay daily. So today in baseball, Eddie Murray gets 5 hits, playing a key role in the Baltimore win over the Red Sox on Tuesday. Eddie Murray belted out 5 hits and 6 plate appearances at Fenway. Raised his batting average to 282. Play of the day saw Andre Dawson with the Expos. The play of the day took place between Montreal and St. Louis at Busch Stadium. Top of the 6th, Montreal batting, men on first and second with 2 outs. Game tied. Dawson hits a double that drives in 2 runs. The game of the day was between the Orioles and the Red Sox, as voted by the fans, with Baltimore winning 12-8. So with that said, in the standings, leading in the American League East in this 1979 replay using Payoff Pitch, you have the Orioles 22-12 with a game and a half up on the Red Sox in the American League East. In the West, excuse me, I have to take a phone call.